guys on YouTube. How are you guys today? Well, today's title of this video is going to be testing out different size fuses at different amperatures and also different voltages. We got a sealed lead acid 12 volt 70 amp hour battery here. We got a power supply, universal power supply that has different voltages. There's nothing load connected to it. Is we're going to see if the fuses are going to handle a certain amount of current from this big giant battery. We also got a switch to turn it on and turn it off, and we also have a fuse holder. We have a couple different alligator clips. We got a red positive side to the fuse, and the switch connects to here, and we got a single ground going back to the battery itself. What we're going to be testing today is we're going to be testing a 3 amp fuse. I have two of these 3 amp fuses right here. And we also have a 7 amp fuse. I don't know if you guys can see the small wire inside it out, but that's what we're going to be testing today and seeing if how much current these fuses can take before the actual melt the wire down. What these are is a safety device. What they do is they have a single wire going through each of these fuses, and each of these fuses will melt down. And once they melt down, the current will stop flowing through the fuses themselves. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and put the 7 amp fuse in the fuse holder as well. But this fuse holder is maxed out to 250 volts of voltage, and also maxed out of 20 amps circuit. A 20 amp fuse is going to look like that. If you guys can see, that's a 20 amp fuse. That's with the big old wire inside of it. Now, let's go ahead and put the 7 amp fuse in the little fuse holder we have rigged up here. This may work. This may melt the wire completely down, but we'll find out if it's going to do the job of protecting a circuit like it's supposed to, because that's what fuses do. It fuses protects the circuit of all sorts of different things. Now, as long as we get everything, quickly put right, everything should somewhat work. And if we don't have a issue with my goddamn switch here, because I put the switch on here for a non-safety reason as well, for we don't able to blow anything up here or destroy too much of my electronic stuff. Well, we're going to flip to a switch and see if we're going to get a power light here on this universal power supply. If we get a power light, we may draw way too much amperage, or we may draw way too much voltage. At 12 volts, 7 amps. Let's go ahead and flip the switch and see what it does. And look at that. So far, the fuse is working absolutely fine. This is a 7 amp fuse, and it's drawing 7 amps from the 12 volt battery going in, and it flows directly into the DC side of the voltage display here, and the unit seems to be powered up pretty good, and that's a good way to test if your fuse is good. Let's go ahead and turn it back off and take out the 7 amp fuse. And guess what, guys? The wire did not melt down. The wire is still intact, still in good shape. Awesome. That's a great way to test a fuse inside your unit. Now, here we have a small. This is a 3 amp fuse. Is this going to melt down, or is this going to have enough current and let it passes through. The way these fuses work is you got two metal caps, a glass, and a piece of wire connecting the two ends of the caps together. Now let's go ahead and put this guy back into place. This is a 3 amp fuse. We'll put this 3 amp fuse, twist this little cap, and let's go ahead and see if we have a light it will turn on, or if the fuse will melt down like it's supposed to. And look at that. A non-lovely fuse. It hasn't blown its wire on the inside, because 12 volts, 7 amps, 3 amp fuses, not a good idea. You should actually have the correct size fuse inside of these fuse holders to make sure your fuses work just fine. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Now, I'm not putting a lot of load on this because I don't have a load on the output side. This is just testing my fuses and making sure the fuses actually work like they should. And that's a 3 amp fuse, and this is a same fuse. We're going to go ahead and test that as well. And we're going to make sure each of my fuses pass the fuse testing, just to make sure everything is working like it's supposed to. Like you gotta make sure your fuses work, because a safety device. So, hey, you guys can see the fuse has not popped. It still has the wire in the middle. Very awesome. We put a non-3 amp fuse in, and we test it again. But how do you know if your fuse is going to work or not? Well, you just gotta test it, just to make sure the fuses are working at the proper voltage. And by the way, everything here is a low voltage, is all DC. By the way, this is just a 12 volt circuit going into this little fuse switch combo, and then going into the voltage regulator, switching power supply kind of thing here with different voltages. And let's go ahead, flip the switch, and my light comes on again. Awesome. Very cool. I really do like the idea of different fuses. And this fuse passes the test as well. A very cool 3 amp fuse has passed the 12 volt system. Now, I do have batches of fuses. Here we have a batch of 3 amp fuses here. I have actually 3 of them right now. These are rated at 3 amps and 250 volts a piece. But, it's kind of cool. We're going to go ahead and test out one of these and see if this little thin wire actually beats the test as well. Now, I'm not going to test all of these fuses inside these containers. I can, just to make sure they actually are working like they are supposed to. I'm going to test another 3 amp fuse. It's really awesome to test and making sure each of the fuses do work, and making sure they're working like they should. And let's see. Light comes on, means that fuse is good. And how do you know if your fuse is bad? If your fuse is somewhat bad, you have a open circuit, and it will be time to replace them. But yes, it's kind of cool. I do like having fuses in all sorts of my different projects. But it's awesome. We also have a couple more batteries here. We have a 10 amp fuse. This is a 10 amp fuse itself. It's that's a standard fuse. Once the fuses die, you have to just go buy a different fuse for your different application. What you gotta use. This one, I don't know what the voltage is rated at. It's 10 amps, and it's I think it's 200 and it's 30. I think it's 32 volts. This little guy. We're gonna see what it does and see if it passes the test or if it fails the test on how to test fuses. It's kind of cool. I like the idea of doing this because once you have a good fuse or you have a bad fuse, it's like, you never know if the fuse is going to work again, right? Right. I don't know. Yeah, this is a little tricky because it's not wired like it should be. I should actually have everything wired properly, but I just haven't got the chance putting it all in the box. And there you go. And that passes the test. The white fuse seems to work pretty good, and it hasn't popped. Works pretty dang good. Now again, I'm not going to test all these because I know they're all the same type of fuses. And here we have ceramic fuses. This is called a ceramic fuse. We're going to test that one. And we just have Allen fuses in this one, or 20 amps, and these are just 20 amp fuses anyways, because I know that will work just fine in this system, because that's just the way it's designed for. Now we're going to test one of these ceramic fuses. Ceramic fuses are a little bit more different, because they don't have a glass tube. So this is ceramic, and you just have two metal end caps, probably with a wire on the inside as well, like a metal one, like a glass one. 10 amps and 250 volts, 250 volt fuse, and we're gonna go ahead and test it as well. Now, you should use the right type of fuse and your fuse holder, just to make sure you're not going to end up destroying any of your things. Alright, now we got a ceramic 10 amp fuse and the ceramic fuse holder here, and we're just trying to get everything. It's all coming apart here. It's like, yeah, really? Holy. And we'll just test it and see if it turns on. And it turns on. Yay! That's awesome. Testing your fuses is a very good idea to make sure you're actually using the right type of fuses for all your different equipment. Now, we just have all sorts of different fuses I have here, all sorts of different things, and they all have passed the test of the testing stages. A 10 amp fuse will work with a 12 amp circuit. Now, I don't know about all the Allen type of fuses because every fuse is a different batch, different items. And there you go. But if I had a load side on this whole entire system, the fuses would have probably popped if I had something on the output of my system. But I didn't have an output to my system because this is just a general test and making sure the fuses are working like they are supposed to. Now the other thing is going to work. Like, say, a lamp won't work on a fuse because it does keep popping the fuses. This is one way you can test your fuses. Just get yourself a 12 volt battery, a fuse holder, a switch, and some type of input device that has a light on it to tell you if the light or the fuses are going to work. Alright guys, if you are brand new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, please like, please share, peace out, bye guys, we'll see you in the next vlog.